All right, everybody. Well, welcome back to the Scales Homestead. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you're new to us on Facebook, go ahead and click that follow button. Now that we got that out of the way, as you can see, we got a rabbit breeding box, y'all excuse me, nesting box. This is one that we've used several times. You can see where mama rabbits have chewed on it, baby rabbits have chewed on it, and it's made of particle board. This is one that we bought at typical box store, Tractor Supply kind of places like that. If y'all hear a bunch of stuff banging in the background, we are in the shop, but it is super windy. We got a really bad cold front coming in, and the wind's blowing hard, and it is cold outside. So we're working inside the shop where it's a little bit warmer. So to combat this, like this top has come off a lot. This front has come off a lot right here. And then, like I said, they've chewed, because this stuff ain't thick. It's like 3/8 of an inch or something. So to try to combat some of that, what we're gonna do is, you see this stack of wood that it's sitting on. And yes, I'm using my table saw. That's just a table right now. What we're gonna do, this wood is a little bit wider than that box, so we're gonna build the boxes just a fraction, an inch wider or so. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these down and use this as a template. We're still going to use this one. It's been faithful to us. As you've seen in one of the previous videos, we do have 3 rabbits bred, so I have to build at least 2 more boxes for the time being. But yesterday, 17th of November, I bred 2 more rabbits. So I'm not real sure if the other baby rabbits will be big enough to be able to stay outside of the nesting box by the time they have theirs. So I probably need to go ahead and build 4. I don't know if I brought enough material in here to build 4, but I'll try to squeeze 4 out of it, I guess. But yeah, so that's what we're doing right now. We're going to be building these boxes, kind of giving y'all a demonstration. Like I said, we're going to use this one right here as a template and pull some measurements on it. And I'll probably build it just as long and just as tall. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to set y'all up somewhere where y'all can see what's going on. And, Lord, I don't know. I ain't got a whole lot of options in here. Shop full of mess, and I ain't got nothing to do. All right, that over there. So, I'm gonna get this end squared up. I'm just gonna cut. Probably just cut everything with a skill saw. I'm not gonna use that table saw. I got my skill saw already plugged up, so I'll probably just use that. And we're gonna pull some measurements and at least get one built, just for video purposes, kind of show y'all exactly what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. That way, if y'all want to try to build some yourself, y'all kind of have a guideline to go by. So anyway, let me get everything set up, find me a pencil and tape measure and all that good stuff and all this mess, and I'll be back with y'all in just a minute. All right, so what I'm looking at, I'm gonna ahead and square this piece of wood up, is I'm gonna measure this and see how long I want the bottom and how tall I want the sides, because some of this wood is wider than the rest. I got some more over here. I'll probably end up using that piece as the sides, maybe, I don't know. I may use this as the sides and that as the bottom. I don't know. I haven't figured out. On this particular one, they got the sides are inside of all the other parts. So it sets on the bottom and the top sets on top of it. And the front goes against the front edge and the back goes against the back edge. But I may do that a little different. I may let the sides overlap the bottom, let it come down over the sides and fasten it from the outside. I think that would kind of help in the structuralness of it. Because we do have some big rabbits, some big meat rabbits, so they are going to be pushing in there pretty hard. And that was one thing we noticed with this box. The last birthing that we had was some California New Zealand mixes, and whoo Lord, the mama pretty much took up the whole box. There wasn't a whole lot of room in there for kids, so that's why I'm thinking about going on the outside. That'll give them just a little bit more space. So anyway, so we're gonna pull a measurement on this and say, let's say we'll go 17 inches. So we're gonna measure our 17 inches. If I can get my pencil up out of there. So we got 17 inches marked right there. And then we'll take the old speed square, mark that all the way across, like so. So this will be either a bottom or a side. I haven't decided yet, but that's what that's gonna be. So now, what I'm gonna do, flip y'all around over here, is I'm gonna come from there, whoa, 17 and an eighth. The reason why I went 17 and an eighth is because I'm gonna cut on this side of that line, and that's gonna take an 1/8 inch blade, is an 1/8 inch thick. So that'll take that into account for the cut. Just FYI, I'm not no professional carpenter or nothing, but I build stuff around here and make it work. So, you know, there's that. And so I'm gonna cut these two pieces real quick, and then figure out what I'm gonna do about sides. I got a really wide piece underneath here that I may cut for a bottom and build a bigger one for that meat rabbit. We do got a lot that's pregnant as well, so she's kind of smaller, so that other box will probably work good for her. And so anyway, I'm not gonna leave y'all watching while I saw, because it's loud. So anyway, I may just see how this camera angle looks from over here and put you on a time lapse. Okay, so I know that was a little tiny time lapse. It didn't take much to cut that out. So this is gonna be the bottom. That'll be the top. And then these will be the sides. Kind of like so. But I still think, no, I'm gonna leave it up like that. Screw it in from the bottom. So what I gotta do is, this piece here ended up being 8.5 inches across. So I'm gonna come in 8.5 inches from this edge, and I'm gonna come up 4 inches from here and cut me an angle across here. That gives them room to get in there, gives them a good deep, well, let me double check this other one over here. So this one is 5 inches. So I guess I might do 8 and 5. And the top of this one is 7 and 3/4. So I guess what I'm gonna do, see if y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna come in, let me double check, make sure that's 8.5 inches. Well, 8 and 3/8. Close enough. 8 and 3/8, and we'll come up from the bottom. I'm gonna say 4.5. So now that I got that across there, I'm just gonna use this piece right here, and we're gonna go across. We're gonna go across at an angle like that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this one, I'm gonna lay the other one up there and trace a line and cut that one. And then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do for a front plate, which I got plenty of scrap stuff around here, so I should be able to scrounge up a piece I can cut and make work just fine. So I'll be back with y'all in a little bit after I get these pieces cut and I start to assemble it. All right, so we got oh Lord, we got a stack full of pieces. So front plate, back plate, top plate, 2 sides, and a bottom. So now what we're gonna try to do is assemble this. What did I do with my drill and screws? All right. So with that little one, being that it's so thin, it is just brad nailed together, and I think that's one of the problems we're having with it coming apart is the fact that it's brad nailed together. So what we're attempting to do with this one is I'm going to screw it together, and this thing's going to weigh a brindle ton. But I'm not going to use a ton of screws. I'm just going to do like 3 along each side and hope that holds it. And then we'll kind of go from there. I need to run to town and pick up some more wood glue. That would help. And I'm not even real sure if the brad nailer I have, if I have long enough brad nails where it would actually penetrate this anyway. So let me try to get this up here together. Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way, make it easier on myself. There we go. So I'm gonna get this edge lined up. And run that screw in there. And get that bottom lined up pretty good. So, leave it up like that. That's one side. That'll be a heavy duty box. I'm hoping to get lots of litters and kits out of these boxes. Now, the wonderful thing about all this wood is most of it's just scrap pieces from building a chicken fortress, a milking stanchion and things like that. So I'm not using a bunch of extra wood. Ooh, that thing weighs 10 pounds already. I'm not using a bunch of extra wood to make this. So now I guess what I'm gonna do is I'll get the top, which is this piece, and we'll get the top put on with a couple of screws. I can see already I'm going to push this side over. So let me start the screws in it. Looks pretty good. For a rabbit nesting box, I think that'll be all right. So, let's see. Let's do the front plate. So front plate go on like so. Yeah, I like it. Let's get a couple of screws. That side, one of this. like that. Now, it ain't perfect. No, that's a short screw. Try that again. Whoa. I don't know if that'll stay like that. Probably not. It ain't perfect by far. But here it is. Yeah, she's all there. My goodness. Now, let me get y'all up off this ladder right here. Now, sorry, sound like somebody's pulling the driveway. I'm gonna set this other one up over here just to give y'all a side-by-side comparison. Of course, mass-produced, Boggs Tractor Supply, built here on the homestead. I'm gonna slide this over here right beside each other. So this is the original box that we bought. This is the box we just built. So you can see there's a substantial size difference. Now, this one, I think it cost $17 or $15 or something like that. I don't remember. But anyway, of course, it's easy. You go buy it, you throw it in there on day 28-ish, 29, something like that. You throw it in there and it's ready to go. Now, this one took a little bit more time. Now, video time wise, it's going to be, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that. Maybe. That's with a lot of me blabbering on and on and on and on. Actual work time, 10 minutes. I'm guesstimating, of course, roughly 10 minutes of actual work time put into this box. Now, from where we live, it is 15 miles to town, 18 miles to town, something like that. 18 miles back. It takes about 15 minutes to get town, 15 minutes to get back. That's 30-minute round trip. So in 30 minutes, I could have built 3 of these out of scrap material. And when I say scrap, I mean, I'm gonna walk over here and show y'all. I have bins like this, just full of scrap material. Matter of fact, I can use that piece right there. I have a bin right here. There's another bin over there beside that freezer, right over there underneath all them chairs. It's another bin full of just scrap cut off pieces that will either get used as fire kindling to get fire started with, or for projects like this. So I buy this wood for pretty cheap because it's rough sawn lumber. So I get it for, a whole lot cheaper than going to Ace Hardware or Lowe's or Home Depot or anywhere like that. So I keep all these scrap pieces just for when I need little projects like this. It's good for building nesting boxes for rabbits. It's good for building dividers in chicken laying boxes, things like that. So this one cost $15 to $20. I'm not real sure exactly what it was. So this one costs about $15 plus 30-minute round trip to town if I needed to go pick them up. Now, I wouldn't go to town just to pick up a rabbit box, but just saying, if it was getting close to time for rabbits to have babies and I needed one right now, I would have to run to town and get it. But instead, I build it here. And when I build it here, I use scrap material, and really it don't cost me much of nothing except for my time and a few screws. Now, this one has about, 3, 6, 10, 18 screws in it. A bucket of screws like this don't cost a whole lot. And there's, I don't know how many, it's 10 pounds in there. So it's a ton of screws in a bucket. So really, as far as it's just scrap material left laying around here and a few screws. So even if you factor in the price of this board, I pay about, 60 cents a board foot for rough cut lumber. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 board feet. We'll just say 7, just to say 7. So we got 10 cents worth of screws and $7 worth of board into this, and 10 minutes of my time versus 30-minute round trip to town, $15 to $20 for the box. Plus the fact that gas prices are high. And I don't get good gas mileage in my truck. It takes a little bit of gas to go to town and back. So you factor all that in and you got $30 invested in a box versus $8 invested in a box. And you have a lot more structure. You have longevity. Like I said, we've used this box. We've had, I think, we'll say 4 litters of rabbits in this box, right? And you see what kind of shape it's in after just 4 litters. And I mean, our rabbits are underneath our carport. They're not out in the weather. So this is never just out in the weather. And you see right here, look, it's peeling apart because it's particle board. So I invested $30 to go buy that because it was easy to go buy versus the $8 to build this that in 10 years from now, it probably won't look like this, and probably 100 litters of rabbits. So that is what part of being a homesteader is, and not necessarily a homesteader, but a farmer or a rancher or, whatever you want to call your place, a prep stead or a prepper or anything like that. That is part of the mentality behind it, is the fact that you can take scrap wood from other projects you're doing and build stuff that will last 10 times longer than stuff you can buy in a store and pay an obscene amount of money for, and time and gas money and all that good stuff. So I didn't mean to get off on this whole big rambling thing about it. Anyway, we hope y'all enjoy the video. We hope y'all learn something from it. Hopefully y'all will see what it takes to build one of these, and instead of running to Tractor Supply or your local feed and seed store, pet store, or whatever, hopefully you'll see this and you'll be like, if this crazy redneck can build that in that short amount of time, then I should be able to, and that's the whole point of this channel, is to try to put information out there so that people can see just how easy it is to do some of this. It's a little bit of work into it, but it's more satisfying for me to have this than this. Now, we're going to keep using this because we spent the money on it, but it's better for us to have this than that. more satisfactory to us because we built that, we made that, we know this will last. So hopefully y'all will take that into account if y'all start to where you have rabbits or something like that, and you want to have rabbits and you want to breed rabbits and have babies. Well, this is a cheap, easy way to build a rabbit nesting box and give them, you know, twice as much room almost inside there to be able to get in there and not squish babies and things like that. So we hope y'all enjoy it. We'll see y'all on the next one.